Firstly, I'd like to thank REHDA Institute for inviting me to deliver this keynote. Of course, the topic talk about the economic agenda 2030, but I think for our industry, we can't look so far forward. 5 years ago, during the 2014 budget, the government came in and slammed us with all the cooling measures all at one go. Today, 5 years later, we are all struggling, like what Mr. Heng mentioned just now. So sometimes don't take all your medicine all at one go. I was just looking with one of our council members just now. If you got a headache, just take one pill first. Otherwise, an overdose, you'll find that later on you find it's difficult to recover, just like our industry. So I'm not going to talk about the general economy per se, but I'll focus just on our industry, which is the housing industry. Dato Jeffrey, Chairman of REHDA Institute, Dato CJ Kaur, Deputy President of REHDA Malaysia, REHDA patrons and National Council members, fellow speakers, panelists, members of the media delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be with everyone this morning at the opening of the REHDA Institute Annual Property Developers Conference CEO Series 2019. Congratulations to REHDA Institute for organizing yet another successful CEO Series which have entered its fourth year this year. I'm deeply honored to be with all the distinguished speakers and key players of the housing and property industry this morning to deliberate on issues relating to the housing sector. As we move towards becoming a high-income economy, and as more and more young households aspire for independence through owning their own homes, the government as well as developers are faced with the task of providing efficient facilities, quality, and affordable homes. It is definitely a huge and challenging responsibility, and with this forum theme surviving the turbulence and world of disruptions, the topics chosen are indeed timely for discussion. I trust that with the presence and active participation of the industry experts today, this conference will generate innovative and fruitful ideas that will germinate into pragmatic solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we are all aware of the current external headwinds and global uncertainties which have affected our performance, just like most nations around the globe. We are lucky that Malaysia is projected to record a slight positive GDP growth of 4.8%, along with a healthy unemployment rate of 3.3% in 2020, compared with the 4.7% GDP projection for 2019. Of course, you all heard Mr. Lee just now. He said that it could be a bit optimistic of this Bank of Malaysia's projection. Underpinning this positive growth are sound fundamentals with a healthy labour market, low and stable inflation, well-diversified economy, and resilient domestic demand, amongst others. Meanwhile, improvements in the housing and property industry remain sluggish, as apparent in the NAPIC report 2018. Transactions recorded increases in volume and value, but at marginal rates of 0.6% and 0.3% respectively, while the REHDA Property Industry Survey for the first half 2019 reported a decrease in the number of units launched. Notwithstanding this, the industry is also facing trying times ahead. The industry continues to be confronted with numerous challenges like increased input costs, compulsory provision of social and affordable housing, unsold units, and financing challenges, to name a few, which are hindering the growth of the industry. There is an urgent need to examine each of these elements closely and find solutions to the issues at hand to ensure sustainability and enhance competitiveness. Sustaining a healthy growth rate for the housing sector is imperative, as the sector does not only create domestic demand, but also because any turbulence in the housing market will be transmitted to about 140 upstream and downstream subsectors related to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the government's kind assistance to assist both house purchasers and the industry through the Home Ownership Campaign 2019 has brought a much needed relief to the industry. The campaign, which commenced on 1st of January 2019, created much excitement for the industry and received positive response from both developers as well as members of the public. To date, more than 27,000 house buyers have benefited from this campaign, with more than 3 billion worth of discount given away by developers. Meanwhile, the total sales of more than 21 billion transacted will definitely result in huge economic spin-off on the economy. REHDA is immensely grateful to the government for responding to our appeal to introduce initiatives to assist house buyers as well as the industry. Another pressing issue much debated relating to the national home ownership agenda is the provision of social or affordable housing. Developers have been accused of selling properties at a very high price to rake in high profits, and there have been various calls to lower our prices and also build more housing in the affordable category. Whilst we endeavour to help fulfill the nation's home ownership agenda, we are struggling to cope with all sorts of challenges in the building of social or affordable houses. Provision of social or affordable housing may be more feasible previously, but with the more challenging market today, it's becoming tough on us to provide this housing and at the same time build market demand products at prices buyers can only hope for. We developers have to price our products appropriately as we are constrained by increasing development cost input, increase in land prices, construction costs, professional fees, compliance costs, financing costs, and not forgetting the introduction of new laws, policies, and regulation. The list is endless, and all have a direct impact on the cost of development. Some fees or development charges have even gone up 3 to 5 folds in recent years, and we developers have no choice but to opt for the necessary changes in order to survive. That is why we at REHDA and our branches are kept busy as we diligently engage with the government, both at the federal and state level, to find amicable solution to address the rising cost of doing business. We call for an urgent review to lower or abolish unnecessary charges or requirements with the objective to reduce the cost of doing business so that the savings can be passed on to house buyers in the form of more sustainable price housing. The recent news on the move by the Ministry of Housing to open the request for proposal tender for the 72 plots of land identified for development of affordable housing is very much welcome. We hope such initiative will be able to help bring in the needed number of affordable units into the market more efficiently. Another issue which is also affecting the industry in the past few years is aid financing. Today we have Maybank here as the main sponsor as well. Respondents of the past REHDA property industry surveys continue to indicate that their buyers face aid financing issues, and the rejections were mainly for properties priced 500,000 and below, which is in the affordable housing category. REHDA has consistently appealed to the government and Bank Negara Malaysia to provide more assistance to buyers, especially first-time house buyer in the affordable housing category. We are therefore encouraged by the decision of Bank Negara Malaysia to expand the eligibility criteria for its $1 billion fund for affordable homes to property value up to 300,000 ringgit. We also thank Bank Negara Malaysia for engaging REHDA in discussion, where in our recent meeting with Bank Negara's Deputy Governor, as well as with the Association of Banks Malaysia, all parties are in agreement to work together towards the interests of the rakyat. Perhaps it's timely that the various ruling measures that put in place to counter alleged speculations be lifted as price increases and non-performing loans have stabilized over the past few years, while more innovative financing schemes be introduced to assist especially first-time home buyers. Ladies and gentlemen, in anticipation of challenges plenty looming ahead, the market needs a boost and more positive intervention or structural changes as impetus to enhance affordability and encourage house purchase or home ownership. REHDA will continue to play our role and do our utmost in protecting the interests of members, house buyers, as well as the industry. At the same time, I urge developers to embrace changes and adopt new technologies for efficient, quality deliveries while being responsible towards the environment. And to remain competitive, we must keep abreast with the market, which are becoming more learned and demanding. Before I conclude, I would like to thank all of you here for coming and supporting the REHDA Institute Annual Property Developers Conference, CEO Series 2019. I would like to thank the media, sponsors, and event partners for their strong support towards the Institute and its program. We look forward to working closely with all of you in REHDA Institute's future initiatives and activities. I hope today's conference, through participation of all delegates and close engagement with distinguished experts whom we have with us today, will be able to address the issues and challenges confronting us moving forward. We look forward to reviewing the innovative ideas. When I say innovative here, I know a lot of developers come up with a lot of funny ideas, which is sometimes against the law. So please be innovative, but stay within the boundaries of the law. From the various sessions, and I wish everyone an informative conference with open and fruitful discussion. Thank you and have a fruitful conference.